So welcome everybody. This is the Paradise Group 15th annual meeting. We've been going for quite a while now. I think we started with these meetings in April, I think. It was a while back. I think the first member in this call at least who were present in that was probably Ryan, and then Abdul Majid, and then it was probably Isaac and Carl as well. So we've been going for quite a while now, and it's appreciative that all of you guys are here today. Since it is Halloween, I was appreciating that I thought at least more people would be out partying, or more people would be out having dinners or something with their family, and people would maybe be out doing some degenerate stuff as well. But I really see that the quality in this group is high, and even when it was New Year's a little bit back, we had a call back then, and we had some people as well there. So the people who's here right now, it's good that you aren't out partying and everything, you know. It just shows you're the 1%.
Amen.
So today's index, we're gonna be covering the new logo and some basically voting there. We're gonna talk about advancing, and one member has done that. We're gonna talk a little bit about Instagram, and then also some new introductions of some new people here. So, this is the first thing here. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a discussion. So everyone here is welcome to unmute your mic if you want to do that. As you guys probably know, we have a new icon in the group right now. We have the Paradise Group's official logo, and the point of it is basically to show the freedom. It's quite hard to represent with one just symbol, the Paradise Group, but it's more of the freedom type, and it's perfect because, as I mentioned in the announcement before, we want to create a sort of statue out of this logo. And I'm gonna send in the general chat if everyone is get their screen over there. I want to create something similar to this, but in our own little twister, and we're gonna have that on one of our houses in Koh Samui. And it will be basically at the bottom of that, it will be everyone's names engraved in it. And I think this could be quite a good motive for a statue. So, now it's up for you guys. Lux, which one do you think is the best? Which one do you prefer?
Listen, so originally I thought the classic black and white with the black imprint would have been the best, but after seeing the actual current icon on the server, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I was thinking like maybe using the one for the future Paradise group and then the other one for the actual prospects server.
Yeah, that's what we currently have actually. We have the black and white one for the prospect server, and then we have
Yeah.
the white and purple one for the future server.
I mean, either way, they all look pretty fucking cool.
That's good to
Really
hear.
nice.
Carl, which one do you prefer?
I mean, I think the purple one is more colorful. I think it represents more the lifestyle that we preach here.
I agree. I think like most of the logos with you guys probably know the Capital Club and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. It's just white and black, and it's very boring. You know, it looks very depressing, and we want more like vibrant, happy things in our group. You know, we want something that actually sticks out. We just don't want to go for the boring old coarse look-alike logos.
Mm.
So I think the purple and white one is probably the best. Isaac, what do you think? If you let's see.
I would say the purple one as well.
Any reason for it? Do you have any motivation?
It looks more professional, I would say. Just like gives a bit of energy, you know.
Yeah, that's correct. I actually used one of the people who actually you told me a little bit about the graphic designers that you could actually use, and I used one of them. You told me about. But I think everyone is quite unanimous. Robin, which one do you think?
Yeah, purple as well. By far.
By far, yeah. I don't think it's too much of a discussion here. Everyone is quite set on the same place here. So let's go
I
over
think
to the Lux.
it would look so cool on the statue though.
The purple
Like
one.
having a similar design to that. I actually watched a video that statue is like a part of the most expensive house in the entire world.
Exactly.
And like if you could have a, obviously not a direct copy, but something quite similar, that would be amazing.
Yeah, correct. Harry, do you want to add something?
I think the purple one.
The purple one? That's
Mm.
good. Tolle, which one do you think? You have any like specific one you like more?
Either the purple or the black white, like with the black.
The black background?
Yeah, but it's a bit depressing. But so maybe purple is a bit more happy, light.
I agree with you. The black and white one looks a little bit more professional maybe, but the purple one looks a little bit more happy for the server at least.
Yeah.
So I think everyone is unanimous on that. So let's move over to the next segment here. So what is the future role? Now I'm gonna cover a little bit about the roles because I know a lot of you guys are new here, the people who's never been in a meeting before, the people who all also been in a meeting before but don't really know the opposite roles of the server. You know, many people are prospects, they don't really know what future is. Many people is future, but they don't know how to become prospect. And I'm gonna cover today what the different roles are. So as you guys probably see in the server, we have trial mod, we have OG, we have prospect role, we have future role, and then we're waiting for interview. Now I'm gonna be covering today the waiting for interview role, the future role, and then also the prospect role. Now, the future role is quite simply put, the people we believe will succeed in the future. That's how easily I can put it. And the different criteria we have to be able to create someone into a future in our server at least is that they have to have had at least one introduction call with us, as you guys probably all have had. And then they also have to believe in basically our collective dream. You know, they have to share our and basically pursue our collective dream. You know, of the Paradise Group. They have to believe and also try to succeed with entrepreneurial ventures. You know, we want someone trying to work to become a prospect. We don't want someone who's just sitting here trying to get like mental masturbation about trying to succeed in everything. We want people who are actually trying to achieve what we want to do here. Not only people who's talking about it on Discord and never try to implement it in real life. That's what the future role is. Now the waiting for interview role is quite similar, but the only difference between that is that the waiting for interview role is for the people who haven't had their introduction call, but they have been invited by someone else in the server, so probably it's they've been referred or either sent in a server that has something to do with entrepreneurship, but they haven't had the introduction call. That's simply put what they do. And this is probably the most interesting part for you guys at least. What is prospect? Now prospect is what you're basically striving for in the server. Prospect is the role when you're making $1,250 a month on online income. So you have to make that from online sources. So either you maybe do some agency, some dropshipping store, some real estate, as long as you don't are like location bound or anything to your 9 to 5, then you can become a prospect. Or if you want to become a prospect and have a lot of savings, that could work as well. So you know, like cover at least 3 years in Kosamui, then you can become a prospect as well. Now, the prospect people have not only had the cash, they also have the values that we have in the server, you know. I've had over 350 interviews with people to be able to basically join the server, and I've only accepted about 65 people in the entire thing. And the reason for that is that a lot of people don't share our values here. I just talked about this with Tolle, where I covered about one good thing that Albert Einstein has said before. He had a company once, and it was a lot of people there who had like sad faces and stuff. And he kicked that guy from the company just because he had a sad face. And the reason when someone asked him was that, you know, when someone is looking sad all the time and they aren't motivated, don't have an ambitious tone, they can have all the money in the world, but that like low ambition will spread on other people. It's like a cancer, you know. If someone is always negative and you hang around them all the time, you will soon become negative as well. And I don't prefer that. I want ambitious people who wants to succeed. I don't want the people who's just mad and have made a lot of money, you know. That's not what we're here for. They have to have passed all our values, so they have to have the same like goals. They don't just want the newest Lamborghini. They want the freedom that money brings them, you know. They can't be childish in that sense. They have to have at least 3 months of rent saved up, which isn't too much if you're going for budget role, but it could be a lot for the newer people. And they must be driven as well to pursue our collective dream of basically the Paradise Group here. And now it's time to go over to the next slide here. How do you go from future to prospect? Now, a lot of you guys, I don't know, a lot of you guys haven't reached out to me when you made this probably, but you can actually become from a future to a prospect. And people who have been here from day one. A lot of you guys were prospects when you come in, or a lot of you guys were futures when you come in. And it's actually possible for you guys to go from a future over to a prospect. And basically the process of that is of course to reach all of these requirements. And the second you've reached them, just shoot me a DM and I will promote you over to a prospect role. And the interesting thing about this today is that we have our first ever promotion from future over to prospect, and it only took the person 1 month to be able to produce that. Now the person I'm basically gonna introduce today is a person who's been working for his agency and trying to succeed with his life for only 1 month, and it's basically showed the essence of the Paradise Group. He's working very hard, trying to be active, and it's paid off in results. That's all I'm gonna tell you. He went from a person who was very degenerate, and now is doing very well. He's become a partial owner of an agency. He's working as a salesperson in another company, and then he's also opening up his own company. So, the ceremony of the first ever Paradise promotion is a true testament of the Paradise effect. And that person is Lux. Lux,
Hey!
you wanna go for it?
Bro, honestly, when you mentioned about the Paradise effect, I'm serious. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like, as I said before, like, exactly a year ago, I was out partying. Like, on Halloween, I was doing absolutely degenerate stuff, like drinking, just getting wasted. And in the past, like, couple of weeks, I really started to make a change in my life, where I've not only been dreaming about the success, but I've been working towards it. And I truly believe that that is the essence of the Paradise Effect.
I agree with you fully there, Lux. I completely agree with you, and it really shows the great process of you, because you've literally made from 1 month, you've gone from 0 income over to $1,250 a month in income, and that's really impressive.
Thanks, man.
Do you want to share something more for your little segment you want to talk about?
I actually do. So, I was thinking about the previous meeting that I was talking about discipline and, you know, how it's the answer to people who struggle with a lack of motivation. Now, as Gustav said, 2 weeks ago, I was basically a freelance copywriter just doing outreach for other agencies. Now, 2 weeks later, I'm the co-owner of an agency. So, in this little segment, I actually want to cover something that I believe is extremely important to securing your success. So, I think discipline is extremely important, but let's say you already have the discipline and you're ready to do whatever it takes no matter what. So you might be thinking, well, I have the work ethic, I have the discipline, I want to work, I'm willing to work, but what now? What do I do to take the next step? So I want to start with the opportunities that you already have. If you're like any bit like me, you might be aware of everything that we can do to earn money online, but you might have no idea where to start. So you hear so many people talking about these hustles like e-commerce, trading, SMMA, SFC, theme pages, the list goes on. So where do you actually start? Well, it's quite simple. Identify what you are good at, think about problems that need solving, and how you can use what you are good at to solve those problems. Then put all of your effort into perfecting your talent to solve these problems. Now, some of you guys might say, well, I don't have that many opportunities. I have no clue how to find these opportunities or how to actually seize them. So, I want to talk about something that's defined as networking. Let's start here, right here, in the Paradise Group. This is already an opportunity for each and every one of you. We have a lot of people who are involved in like all sorts of industries, from dropshippers and trading to classic business models like, you know, Gustav. So, ask us. If you're interested in something, the only way you will learn is actually if you ask questions. Now, not only can the Paradise Group deliver amazing knowledge, but the internet is also your friend. There are like genuinely thousands and thousands of free courses and videos that provide value on a specific topic. So don't choose to waste your time watching stupid stuff on YouTube. Search something. The smallest thing, even about how banks work. Provide yourself with important knowledge. Now, lastly, I want to actually discuss something that I've been struggling with, and it's gratitude. So as I mentioned, it's really not that hard to find opportunities, even up until the point where you are overwhelmed with opportunities like me. So you already started to take the first steps by joining the Paradise Group. So now you are in the best position you have ever been. Despite opportunities you might have missed out on in the past, now you are at a stage where you must be willing to work, not just dream about the success, but work towards it. So take a minute to think about the fact that you are already where you are. Something that's actually quite interesting to me is the odds of you being here on this planet is more than 1 in 400 trillion. That's like 0.12025%. So don't worry about being a part of the 1%. You know, be grateful for the fact that you are already here. Be grateful for the fact that you have so much potential to become truly successful. And you have so many things to be grateful for, including the journey that you will go through. Because all the pain and suffering you might be feeling, it's meant to be. You are going to be tested to the fullest extent if you want success. So, as I said, I highly recommend each of you just take a small time out of your day. It can be whenever, when you wake up, when you go to sleep, to just think about what you are grateful for. You know, all the opportunities, all the privileges, and all the odds you've already beaten to be where you are today. Think about all of that, and then ask yourself, why am I not taking action? You already have so much, but you can have so much more just because of the fact that you are privileged enough to be here in this meeting today. that's basically it from my side. I genuinely recommend you guys just think about that, because you have so much, but you can have so much more. But you just have to take action. So, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask.
Lux, it is a privilege hearing from you as usual. The speeches are immense and it's very appreciative. I've gotten a lot of feedback from your speeches and a lot of people have been basically inspired about them. So I think we're gonna make this a weekly segment where just Lux has a speech maybe. What do you think?
Hey, that would be great, man. Thanks.
Well, I think everyone should take what Lux you said to heart, because a lot of opportunity in this server is actually like very true. Just an example of this and some opportunities you might want for the future roles here is that, for example, if you're not making anything right now and you want to get into high ticket sales or lead generation, I'm currently hiring people. I'm currently hiring people for my sales team. I'm currently hiring people for my lead generation team. People with no experiences could get in with me as long as they're driven and everything. I know that Jack has a good tool for lead generation. If anyone has like a business based on a lot of leads, they need a lot of people who's actually driven. Then Jack has
Yeah,
a
me
good
and
tool
him
for
are.
that.
Me and Jack are actually going to collaborate soon.
Exactly. Jack has a good tool for that if you have an agency. I know that Isaac has a great tool for social media boosting. If you ever want to grow your socials, he has a great system for that. I know that Oni has a great agency to grow your like socials. I know that a lot of people in this server provides a lot of value. If you ever want to buy high-end products, I know Robin is one of the best people to get out to. He's one of my personal people who I will be buying a lot of Rolexes from in the future at least. If anyone wants to buy like a luxury watch, we have Robin. We have a lot of people in this server who's very skilled and actually wants to achieve something. So if you ever have any questions or ever need something, or yeah, I'm in need of marketing right now, you send me a DM and I can try to connect you with a marketer. Or if you say, no, I'm currently in need of getting a job at sales agencies, or I'm currently in need of a copywriter, I'm currently in need of whatever you want. You want more leads, you want to grow your socials. Then the server basically has all of that. We even have a fund, like he has his own fund in Luxembourg. And he has his own fund there, and he's actually employing someone who's basically going to become like a stockbroker at his firm. So it's a lot of these big opportunities get provided to our members, you know. A lot of things you can actually make money from, a lot of people you can actually network with and try to grow a company with as well. Carl I met around, was it like 8 years ago, and he's currently working with me and doing lead generation. So we have a lot of these opportunities for our members, so feel free to ask anything if you ever need something from us, and yeah, don't be shy about it. I just got a comment here from somebody, just give me a second. Okay, he said Lux and me is cooking like a chef, bro, thank you. Lux, you got another compliment here, my friend.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
But let's move on here. Lux, it was a great segment from you, and it's fun to introduce you to the first person. I'm gonna give you the role now. They're basically like the road from a future over to a prospect. So give me a second here, and there you go. You're now with the prospect role.
Hey, amazing, man. Thank you
Next
so
role will
much.
probably like OG maybe. What do you think?
Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna stay here, so.
So now it's time to start introducing some people here. We just had Lux talk a little bit, but as you guys probably know, I always want to introduce 2 new people. And the first new people we're gonna introduce today is a member who's provided a lot of value to us as well. I think he has got a lot of like contacts in the high ends. I think he can make you some money if you ever want to buy high end stuff, for example Rolexes, watches. If you're ever in need of something that's expensive, he's the person you should reach out to. And Robin, you wanna take it from here?
Yeah, basically my name is Robin. I live in Sweden, in a city called Värnamo. I sell mostly high-end watches and clothing. And I'm getting into dropshipping now. I've gotten a couple of thousand Swedish crowns in sales. That's like a couple of $100. But yeah, it's just the beginning, starting to scale now. Especially now under the Halloween break from school. Yeah. Next page. Yeah, how I got into the Paradise group and why I decided to join. So basically, I was in Swedish Discord server, and like I saw someone sending invites to this server. I think it was Gustav. So yeah, I joined after seeing it a couple of times, and yeah, I don't regret it a second. Instantly when I joined, I understood it was a great group with amazing people. I think I joined like the second meeting. I'm not sure. And yeah, since then I've been onto the group. Okay. Yeah, and this is how I see myself in Koh Samui.
Oh yeah.
In the beach, I don't know, driving fast cars, in the gym, and a small hobby of mine, smoking cigars sometimes. So yeah, that's what I see myself doing.
Yeah, I think I've already played a little bit how it's going for him with the Rolexes and everything. He's actually going really well for him. So, Robin, you want to tell him a little bit more about your reselling instead? A little bit.
Yeah, okay. Basically, like the vulnerability of the Japanese, what do you say?
Yeah.
Like the valuta, like
Currency.
yeah, exactly. And so I buy watches from Japan for like quite a bit cheaper. Let's say $2,000 cheaper if I buy a $10,000 watch. So I bring it to Sweden, declare it as low value, so I have no, I don't have to pay like the custom fees and stuff. So and then I have a person in Sweden who buys my watches from me for a fair price. Let's say like 2,000 more watch. Depending on what watch it is, it can be more, less or more. And that I do like 2 watches a month at the moment, but I'm scaling that as well right now. It's just I haven't had a month yet since I started where it has gotten much worse. It's basically just going up right now.
Okay, that's interesting. Now I think what Robin is doing is very smart. He's playing off the inflation and the currency exchanges of the Japanese. It's very volatile, the currency, and he's making some good profits of it. So I think that's a very smart thing to do. And yeah, I think it's quite, everyone could probably see themselves doing what Robin's want here, like basically to do here. I don't know if everyone wants to smoke cigars, but probably a lot of people wants to do that as well. But I probably agree with it, like driving fast cars, going to the gym with the group, swimming, spearfishing, enjoying ourselves by the beach, doing some Muay Thai, probably the martial arts would be interesting as well. But that was a good
Ooh.
segment, Robin. I thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks.
Look, I'd definitely be down to be doing all of that with you guys.
That's
Yeah, that sounds great. If you have any questions, just ask them and I'll answer.
Wait, how long ago have you like started to resell watches?
It actually hasn't been that long yet. I think I bought my first watch in like April. So really not that long ago. And but before that, I had been selling high-end clothing for quite a bit. So I already had some contacts in that world from that business. Because it's many customers, like it's similar customer base. So like people who had bought clothing from me also wanted to buy watches, but so that's how I scaled it so quickly, basically.
I think understanding sales in general is quite important. I mean, you could implement it on anything, like as you said, from clothing to watches to any high-end ticket. So it's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's like do you say it's a similar type of selling, watches and clothing.
Yeah, the
So,
demographic who buys high-end clothing is probably the same demographic that buys high-end watches as well. In a
Yeah, exactly.
quite similar one. I think Carl messaged me. I had a question for you, Robin.
Yeah, go
No,
on.
I was just thinking. So it's mainly Rolexes that you resell, right?
Yeah, and a bit of Omega also, because like I want to get into the more expensive watches, which I'm probably gonna do soon, like Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe and brands like that. But the thing is, when I declare them as low value, when they're getting shipped to Sweden, I have no insurance. So I will probably have to start going down to Japan to collect watches like those, because it's really risky for me to ship a watch like that. Let's say like $40,000, and it's just like getting lost in the shipping. It would really suck.
Yeah, then you should probably get some watches when we're in Tokyo 2024 then, I guess.
100%.
Getting some
Hell yeah, I want myself a Richard Mully, dude.
a Richard Mille? Oh, you're talking big.
Uh.
Okay.
Wait, are all the like watches and Rolexes cheaper in like Tokyo?
Like I have a supplier where I buy off auctions mainly, but yeah, they're cheaper in Japan. It's many resellers that go there and buy watches. And but a big part is also the vulnerability of the yen.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who made money from that. You know, you guys know what post stamps is? You know, with the post stamps when you're sending mails and stuff.
No.
A very rich guy I knew, or I didn't know myself, but I heard the story of him. He lived around, I think it was 110 years ago or 120 years. I can't recall exactly. But then it was post stamps because you did everything through mails, you know, through your mails. And what he did is that the post stamps was a medium of exchange, so you could exchange it for the same amount of money everywhere in the world. So if you were in Nigeria, you could buy it at the same cost you could buy it at in America. And what he basically did is what he said he got. He speculated that the yen or the Japanese currency or some other currency that was going into war, or another like African country that was going into war. He speculated that their currency would go down a lot because of inflation. They would stop being like less valuable. So what he did is that he bought a shit ton of like postage stamps when their value went down, and then he went to America and exchanged it over to dollars. And he made a lot of money off of that. I think he made I think it was $150 million from it. So you can make really great money from just doing small little commissions of each thing. Like postage stamps, you can't break a lot of it, you know. I think he did around 200 millions of those postage stamps in total. So playing off the inflation and playing off the like fluctuation of currencies is very big. And I think that's what the main business model of Robin is doing, and it's very smart.
Yeah, exactly. And like let's say the currency goes up, it will still be very profitable for me because right now I'm building my connections. So yeah, like I think I will always be able to get these watches for a good price. So I won't really have to depend on the currency later on. Because that could be a problem. Let's say if the yen goes up a lot, who knows? Yeah, then I'll don't have to depend on that. But it'll be harder, of course.
Anyone have any more questions, or should we move over to the next slide here?
I have a question for Robin.
Yep.
So, where do you find your suppliers for the watches and clothes?
Basically, I bought a supplier from a very big reseller I had some connections with exclusively. So yeah, that's basically how I got it. But the thing is, first when I bought it, I just bought it for clothing. My plan wasn't to buy watches, but yeah, he also told me there were watches on it. So later on, I got the idea of selling watches. It's like it's the same thing as clothing, but let's say like a jacket I'm selling, it's $1,000, and I make let's say $200 on that, $300. And then I like a watch is $10,000. So I thought like, yeah, if it's that more expensive, maybe I'll make way more money on it. And I had the money which I didn't have before, so I went and bought watches and made way bigger money on it. And another thing I like with watches is the buyers are way more serious than clothing, like the buyers for clothing, or some of them. Like something the buyers for some clothing are so annoying. They just flake and yeah, are really annoying and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of you guys probably know like the 15-year-olds who's into like Gucci, like a Gucci cap or a Gucci vest or like a Louis Vuitton bag or something, you know. Like you can get those type of clients when you sell high-end clothing, but you can't really get those type of clients when you're selling Rolexes because that's another like bracket of money.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you, the most annoying is like Valentino and Lanvin sneakers, also Moncler Cardians, because those are like 12 to 16-year-olds who depends on their parents' money, and they will say that they're gonna buy it and like tell people to hold it for them, and they just don't buy it. And they ask a million questions before. So and that doesn't really happen with watches. If like let's say I have a buyer, he just goes straight to the point, wants to see the watch, buys the watch.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to see references as well, but that's another thing.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know what I do, because I do two things right now, I could cover it to you in the end of the meeting. So if anyone's interested in that, I could of course cover it.
Listen, Gustav, are you going to be recording the rest of the meeting?
Of course I will. Of course.
Okay, great. Listen, I have to go, so I gotta head out. The big game's on. Country's playing in the finals, so you guys should enjoy the meeting. But yeah, I'm gonna check out the rest on the YouTube.
Go for it, Lux. Thank you for having you.
Great.
Or thanks for having you, man.
All good, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Bye, man.
Cheers, guys.
So this is basically where Lorben lives, but now we're going over to the next one here. So now it's time to introduce another member we have in the server. The person we're going to introduce today is a person who has a successful agency. He's currently predicting his prediction at this is going around $12,000 a month, and his goal is to reach around $15,000 a month. He's very young, but he's doing very good, and he's actually produced a lot of value to the community. And I think he's I've employed I think 2 people in our server as his employees. So Oni, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks. So basically, who I am is I'm a Canadian guy. I'm from Canada, Quebec, and I currently attend the most prestigious Quebec school, like in the whole province. It's the most prestigious. I started doing business when I was 13. How I started it was very easy because I attended the most prestigious school, so I had this level of prestige that parents were looking for when they wanted to like send their child into like a tutoring business, into a tutoring service, classes like extracurriculum classes. So I had like that leverage over other tutoring services. So that's how I started my first business, and I joined the Paradise Group recently. I think it was like 2 months ago or like a month ago. I was just looking on Discord, looking for entrepreneur servers when I came upon Smoofy, and Smoofy referred me to this server, which is super great. So yeah, I have 2 employees in the server. I think it's Lux Works. We just talked about him, and Samir is waiting for interview, I think. So I'm here to meet people that are interested in business and money making. And for the future, I want to rent a room in Indonesia for basically tax breaks, less taxes. That's pretty great. And the Paradise Group opens the door to new opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my agency, the Phantom Agency. It's not like one agency, it regroups a number of agencies. So the most profitable and successful yet is Ghost Marketing Group. It's a marketing agency that makes around $6,500 a month Canadian, which in US it's about like $6,000 a month. My earlier business that I just talked about was Athena Elite Tutoring, and made around $650 to $2,000 a month. That's after the salaries, my friends, things like that. That's just profits to me. And after last meeting, when they talked about Instagram theme pages, I got really inspired, and I'm about to turn the Athena Elite Tutoring into Athena's Millionaires, basically a theme page on Instagram for business knowledge and motivation. Yeah. So I also have Ghost Outreaches, which is a company run by Lux Works. He does a fantastic job. He found me like 3 potential leads in like a week. It's crazy. And for the possible future, I'm gonna add a PR agency, consumer electronics store, copywriting agency, creative agency, content creation agency. Like, you get the point. Like, I want basically all the possible agencies into the Phantom Agency to make maximum profits. Yeah, that's about it.
So one question I have to you, Oni, is that a principle I like to think of at least is that don't you maybe want to start off with becoming the best in one area and trying to become really great at it, and then try to expand to all the other things instead of like doing or planning to hire someone who's really good at to basically manage and be a CEO or basically a president of each of these what is it like the segments of your Phantom Agency?
Yeah, exactly. So I run Ghost Marketing Group myself because I have experience marketing and basically outreaches. But for copywriting and like massive outreach, I don't specialize in that. So Lux Work is running all the thing by himself. He's doing a great job, and I think he offers fantastic service. And for by future auditions, by future I mean like 10 years or like 20 years. It's not gonna be like short term, because it's all gonna fail if I all try to do it at once.
Yeah, you make my business model sound a little bit slow, man. You're just popping up all the things, bro. You have a lot of things rolling at the same time, I see. Well, if anyone asks, I can probably tell you a little bit what I do as well. The people who don't know it, I don't think all of you guys know what I do actually. And for you guys, I'm probably some random person who has the Paradise Group, or for the newer people at least, and you don't really know what entrepreneurial adventure I'm in. So I think there's gonna be a lot of the first time you maybe hear what I do for a lot of you guys. Does anyone here know what I do, like completely, except Carl?
Yeah, I think I do.
You do?
The thing with like importing
I
and
do.
exporting, and
That's the point
the
of it.
thing with the apartment.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
I don't think too many more than you know at least. I think Saif, you, and maybe Isaac, but not more than that. But
I know too, you know.
oh yeah, you're staff, Christoph. Of course you know, man.
Me too. Like I'm a little bit.
What do you say?
Me too. I know a little bit about you.
That's good. Well, for the people
Hey,
who don't,
can I ask something real quick?
sure, Christoph, sure.
Who here has gotten a DM from diamond.me?
Not really.
Carl, have you got
Anyone?
a DM? Adam, have you got a DM from him? Anyone?
No, I haven't.
Anyone?
Why? What did he say?
Christoph, did he say something important?
No.
No, I don't think he wants to say something. Well, we just move over to what I do then. Adam, do you know what I do? Or have I spoken to you about it?
No, I just
Sorry, I was trying
export
to
and
find what
import.
he said.
That's all I know.
He's saying like he lost everything and that people needs to donate money to him.
Yeah.
Eh,
Just don't give him any money. It's probably some bot or something. He doesn't have a future role, right?
I don't know.
Well, I'll probably just mute him or something. Yeah, I'll take care of that after the meeting. But just no one will probably send the money anyways. It doesn't really matter. But thank you for telling me, Christoph. Now, before the people who don't know what I do here, I can tell a bit quicker. My name is Gustav. I'm a young entrepreneur from Sweden. For the people who don't know me, I run a export and import company, and then I also have a addict rebuilding. And simply put, it is you probably know what housing cooperatives is. It's a very unique thing. I'm one of the 3 companies in Sweden, all of Sweden, who does this, and I work with 3 of the biggest or very successful ones in my town. One company who is one of the biggest in housing rebuilding. I work with one of the best architecture firms, and I work with one of the best real estate companies that have a lot of capital. And what we basically do is that we find expensive properties in the middle of Stockholm, and in Sweden we have a particular like architecture with big addicts. And what we do is that we convert those addicts from just useless storage space, where the square meter prices is $15,000 per square meter. That's insane. So for every square meter you have, you gain 15,000. We create those addicts over to apartments, which is very interesting, and it's huge amounts of money to be made. And the thing we basically do is that we find properties whose housing cooperatives, we reach out to them. We have people doing lead generation for me. I think I have around 3 people who's doing that right now. And then we do sales calls with them. That's where the people I'm getting out in here right now, they can make some good commissions from it. And then we reach out to the persons. We go with our basically architecture team, who will go out there, look at the property, do an inspection of basically the entire thing, see if it's actually possible to rebuild it into apartments. We check that the apartment and the addicts is enough to be able to create a lot of them so we can make good money. And then we just go out to the state, we check the detailed plan, and we start building. And what we do then is that we basically create those addicts over to apartments, and we sell it on different stores or different like Swedish websites. And the square meter prices there is around 15,000 per square meter, and the cost to build them is around 3,000 for us. So you can do the math yourself. We make a 5x on each property we'll be able to rebuild, and then we earn a commission, and we don't spend any money ourselves. We don't spend any of the capital. All we do is the lead generation. We do the meetings, we do the appointments, we basically do the inspection of the properties, and we do all of that. We provide them with the satellite and also the software to be able to find all the properties with our engines and everything, and we do all the calculations. And that's basically what I do. So I find these properties in the middle of Stockholm, the most expensive properties in all of Sweden, and then we rebuild their addicts over to apartments and we sell them, and I make some good commissions from that. So we're currently working on a new deal here. I think it's around 600 square meters, this place. And if we're able to close this, which I don't think we will, I started this new company here 3 months ago, so I'm quite new to it. But it's very lucrative, insanely lucrative to be honest. And our plans of expansion is probably going for first Stockholm, then we're going to Gothenburg, then we're probably going to Berlin, then we're going Copenhagen, Oslo, Bern, and Zurich, maybe Amsterdam. We have a lot of these big goals in the future. And if anyone here is into real estate or has a property in Stockholm that's very expensive, I can of course try to rebuild it for you. So one of the contracts we're working on right now, if we're able to close it, will be at 300. I think it's at 325,000 commission for us approximately. So yeah, that's basically what I do myself. And if anyone has any questions about it, I know it's a lot of information at a fast time here, but feel free to ask it. I don't think, no questions? If anyone has any question, just feel free to ask, or I move over to the next page here.
Next.
Next page, okay. Yeah, so it's probably a lot of information there because it's a very like complex thing. I know a lot of you guys probably aren't in the real estate space, but yeah, let's move over to the next page here. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is basically Instagram. Now all you new people who wants to basically get a part of this and basically wants to be more on the socials, I would recommend you guys to add me on Instagram. It's Gustav Wayne is my name on Instagram at least. Or just send me your name in my DMs so I can add you. Because we have a policy here in the Paradise Group, or at least myself, is that I only follow Paradise Group members on my Instagram account. And we also have an Instagram account for the Paradise Group I'm currently creating. And I want that account to also only follow the Paradise Group members. So in that way I would probably need all the Paradise Group members' Instagram accounts. So either add me or I can add you. It doesn't matter for me. And this is a quite interesting. Yeah. Oh, Saif is here. Nice. I think his mic has started working.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I'm saying like, should we provide the personal account or like a business account or something?
You can provide whatever account you feel like. It doesn't really matter for me. Or both if you want to do that.
Yeah, okay. It was just a confusion. You can continue.
No worries. So competitions is a big thing about the server. I think that competitions always try to motivate people to achieve their goals basically. So one thing we're going to introduce like once a month will be monthly competitions. And I will have Christoph working on that to create some more competitions. That's he's one of the staff. He's currently he's quite young, so what he's doing basically in the server is that he creates he basically monitors the server so no one is spamming. Christoph basically takes care of the invites. He basically tries to grow the community as well, and he will start creating these competitions for everyone in the server. So hopefully when he's older a little bit, he will try to move with it as well. So what competitions are you guys driven by? It's probably something with the entrepreneurial ventures. We don't want any of this like playing video games tournaments or something like that. We want something like motivated over to what we do here. So maybe someone taking a picture of the most like Paradise Group vibe picture they can get, or maybe someone doing an entrepreneurial competition where they try to grow a new company, and the person who gets the highest revenue, everyone puts in like $100 and then the person who wins will gain the pot. And just something like that, something you can actually compete in. That's probably what we'll be starting to do here. Maybe we'll take in an investor, maybe an VC or a angel investor, or maybe a private equity firm, and they will basically listen to you guys pitching some ideas. I know one VC or a angel investor as well, who I can probably take in one of the meetings, and he can hear you guys out trying to, if you guys have a good idea that you want to pitch him, and you're actually above age and you can actually create a company, he could probably start investing in your company if it's actually good. That's one competition we can do. And I think that was basically all for this meeting. This meeting was more of an informative meeting for the new people. And the next meeting we're going to have is going to be Jack talking a little bit about his journey to basically purchase his new car. He just bought a new Porsche. We're going to have another, probably an investor maybe. And we're going to feature 2 new meetings again, or 2 new people at least. So thank you everyone who was new here and wanted to show up in our meetings. AX12, I would gladly take a call with you after this and try to explain what we do here in the Paradise Group, because this mine's a little bit random for you. And thank you everyone. I think that this was a good meeting, and I